Good evening and welcome to Oaklands College, St Albans, Hertfordshire, for the last time for a regular season WBBL game. And what a matchup we've got for you to finish off the regular season. It's the Oaklands Wolves versus the Nottingham Wildcats. Oaklands Wolves can go 7th with a win tonight. Nottingham Wildcats have got 4th spot locked up, whatever happens this evening. Got Tor Freeman with me, as he has been throughout our mini-season of streams, if you like. And Coach Lee Ryan said before the Manchester Mystics game that this was a mini-season. And what a run they've had, beating the Mystics, beating Cardiff to get into the playoffs, giving the juniors a chance to play against Durham, and then getting a big win against a tough Caledonian side, a young side, to put us in this position now. And as for Nottingham Wildcats, they've had a double-header as well next weekend, beating Newcastle, that got them 4th spot, and then Durham took them down as well. So a good finish to the season for Durham. But how do you see this one going? And Nottingham Wildcats running a short roster.
Yeah, I think both teams are running a short roster today, so it should be an exciting matchup. It'll be interesting to see if they come out Nottingham 4th place secured, probably playing more, don't want to risk the injuries, going to slow it down a little bit, go through some of the sets ready for that playoff matchup. Maybe we'll see a little preview of what they're planning for that 4th place matchup. And then with the Oakland Wolves, do they want the 7th? Do they want the 8th? How are they going to play? We'll see, are they going to go starters for 30, 40 minutes, or are we going to see a lot of the bench? I think we'll see more of the youngsters, but it'll be interesting to see how Lee Ryan plays it and what he's looking for in this game.
Yeah, we've spoken with Lee, and he said that in his pre-game thoughts, that it is getting ready, not showing too much and getting ready for the weekend, so they may throw some sets in. But looking at Nottingham Wildcats and they're going to go 4th and go up against Manchester. The Wolves will either play Sevenoaks Suns, who are the league champions, or play against Leicester Riders. And looking at Leicester Riders and what some of their players are doing last weekend with Holly Winterburn, 36 points with an efficiency of 42. So both of those teams have got incredible talent. I think Januska the young Januska had a big weekend, a big game at the weekend as well. So either choice is going to be a huge challenge for Oakland's Wolves. But if they can get everybody right, everybody fit, Marissa Quick resting again tonight, it could be, it could be a really big game tonight, and then a massive weekend for them up in Newcastle.
It'll be interesting to see how Oakland's match up with Nottingham's sides here. They've got Praise and Mower inside.
Take the knee, no room in modern society, modern sport for racism or inequality. And it's the women's, it's the WBBL, it's the last game of the regular season for these teams. Nottingham Wildcats with Shumpert, what a push through, and huge play by Praise Garber. Played in the German WBBL, 17 years old.
Yeah, Praise is a real prospect. Played for Germany at U16s, Division A, started for them, maybe have been the best player on that team. So some real international experience that we don't see from anyone else in GB. We're in Division B most of the time, and that was a really good German team in Division A that year.
Costa, our best game of the season points-wise against Newcastle. Such a huge game. Everybody stepped up for that. And ball's loose, and Nottingham with size advantage with Marissa Quick out. Get another chance, another 14 seconds. Inside, turnaround is good with the soft touch for Moa Lundqvist, another big player for Nottingham Wildcats.
Yeah, and that's Moa's go-to move there. We see it quite again. She likes the little shot around the elbow, and then that fade away. She goes to time and again, and the first time we see her make it, the goal, I'm not sure, then she keeps making it all night long.
Harrison says Beth Sarson's way downtown, and she nails the 3. Beth Sarson's having a steady season with occasional brilliance just like that.
Yeah, really exciting to see, and I think maybe we're going to see a battle of styles here. Nottingham putting it inside on the first 2 possessions, and Oakland's looking for the perimeter.
Going to have to really mix and match here. Oakland's Wolves just chase every rebound down, which of course Laura Milligan specialises in. She's in the open court, and good drive by Laura Milligan, and she draws the foul from Lindqvist, good play from Lauren again.
Yeah, excited to see attack the big, and obviously both teams running short benches, Nottingham even more so. So the early foul trouble could really be a big factor in this game.
4-3 not the Wildcats lead. And Lauren Milligan leading this team in rebounding and over 2 steals a game. And knocking the free throws down, which we speak about every game that she goes to the line. That's really good to see.
It's definitely been improving over the season.
Carter pushes ahead to Lauren. Let's see if she can make this layup, and she can from the left. Missed a couple on Sunday, didn't matter with the final result, but tonight against stiffer opposition, it could do.
Yeah, you feel like tonight is going to be a bit more of a physical matchup and a real battle of styles, and how's this game going to go? It's going to be exciting to see how it plays out.
Jumper pulls up, tough 2 off left. No, box out, and Sarsens putting her hands up, but just pushed out the way there, and Lindqvist will go to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, Nottingham have going to crush those offensive rebounds, and Oaklands needs to ensure they box out, otherwise it is a long, long evening for them.
Really, it's going to be a team effort of trying to box out as Lindqvist misses the free throw. 64% from the line for the season. But they've just got to box somebody out. Even if they don't get the ball, it doesn't matter who gets the ball. Get the body and box out.
Definitely, and Praise is a offensive rebounder. She goes after everything, so you know, you've got to put 1 or 2 bodies on it to stop somebody like her getting after those rebounds.
Harrison pulls up long on the short jump shot. Simone Costa chased, harried, good job by Milligan, and it works. And they've done that well. Something they may be looking to do to surprise oppositions, just out of nowhere, put a trap on.
Yeah, and Simone kind of dribbled into the trap there. She seemed a little bit unsure, knew it was there, but didn't quite know how to get out of it. So, well played to Oaklands Wolves.
Great hands again. Lauren Milligan leads this team in hustle and steals and rebounds, and Amari takes the shot as she was given it, just off. Spoke pre-game with Lee Ryan about Amari Carter, and he's pleased with her progress. She's had such a tough year for her. First year out of college, coming to a COVID-hit country, and balls loose, and a wonderful pass as all the attention went to the post player.
Yeah, and Praise has sometimes suffered from turnovers a bit this season. I think she'd be honest about that. So to see her looking around to teammates, recognising cutters, is something that's really exciting to see develop into her game.
Carter. Harrison, baseline, and tries to dribble around Praise Igorevba.
And Oaklands are sticking, Nottingham are sticking in this zone here, so we're interested to see, do Oaklands figure the zone out? Do they, you know, does things start rolling against it, or is it going to kind of plague them all night?
Inside, turnaround is short, and again, Lundqvist gets the rebound. It looks like it's an offensive foul.
I believe that's 2 on Moa Lundqvist, and a quick 2 there, so I expect to see Chloe Gaynor into the game. And here we see Chloe Gaynor checking in for the first time tonight for Moa Lundqvist. As expected with the 2 early fouls, Nottingham have got to be careful here not to get into foul trouble.
Upras to Harrison all the way across to Beth Sarsens, and really hustling across. And a drain 3 by Greta Upras, leading scorer, leading in 3-point percentage, leading in free throw percentage, and drains that one. But before you can blink, Costa, who was the lead player, part of the All-Star 5 as well for the WBBL this week, just drives as hard as she can, and she'll be back at the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, she's really, really impressive over this stretch. You know, in her 2 years at the Nottingham Wildcats, as the season's gone on, she's been better and better, and this is her probably best 3-game stretch that I've seen. Georgia product, so, you know, SEC, big-time league, probably best in the States, so interesting to see how she goes tonight.
26.7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 69% from the field, so playing with a lot of confidence on the back of that Newcastle stats.
Yeah, really exciting, and when she's aggressive, it's really tough to stop. When she gets her downhill and she's got this little pull-up as well, it looks a really exciting player.
Upras, now they're right up on her. Melita Can she bring something special tonight? She's been off for a few games with some COVID issues. And Melita throws it up off the back of the backboard and ball's loose. And good hustle by Edgar Havraba.
Shall we stick with praise?
Praise. Again, getting in the passing lane, Lauren Milligan, already up to her average. And steals Harrison.
I think that's the first steal by header I've seen all season.
And Greta Upras.
But yeah, aggressive with these 3 points here. They're real zone breakers. You know, Nottingham have got to consider if they can stick in this zone if she's going to be shooting the ball like that.
Melissa rebound. She really want to play well. She hasn't played since the last Nottingham Wildcats game up there, which was a tough watch on the back of the Newcastle Eagles. Close loss and still that tough pass again back towards the top of the zone is a dangerous pass, I feel.
Yeah, with those two guards at the top, Chelsea Strumpet always up there in steals in the league, and Simone's been ever more active on defence, so something you've got to watch out for.
Melita drives into the zone and surrounded when she's tried to make the pass. They've got to keep. Well, how would you be coaching the girls to play this zone the safest way?
I think we've seen the skip passes be effective so far tonight. I don't think you want to drive in, especially when Chelsea Strumpet's there. She's going to be somebody who's going to get into you on the ball. She's going to knock the ball away and really frustrate you. So try and maybe avoid her side of the zone possibly, or look to pin her in and maybe catch her if she's going for that steal backdoor and other cuts.
And you can still set screens in zones. That is still an option.
Yeah, definitely. And they can pin the players in. So maybe it's on one side, and then you set two weak side screens and pin players in, and then you can swing it for the open three for Upras, as we saw earlier. And if she's open,
that's maybe where they're going to miss Marissa a bit, because she can really take up some space, and being a real pro, played around Europe, she knows exactly how to use those screens. But another steal for Oaklands Wolves. Melita, and wide open in semi-transition, Beth Sarsens for three, and the assist by Melita. Double team again. Great job by Oaklands Wolves. This is how they've got to play. Up pace, almost frantic, and rush the opposition into mistakes.
Yeah, I think with this Nottingham side, you've got to get the ball out of the big hands early, otherwise Praise and Chloe are really going to do some damage down there. The same with Moa. If they get position and they start wearing them down and battling with the Nottingham small, forwards they've got here, it's could be tough.
Sarsens, and there's the pass picked off again by, and beautiful play by Simone Costa. She is playing brilliantly on both ends of the floor. Upras inside, but again could take. And Shumpert finishes, and the foul, and Nottingham Wildcats looking really dangerous. Chloe Gaynor with the steal. Good take. Providing real size for the Wildcats, and Oakland Wolves run into a bit of a problem as we see the layup by Shumpert.
And that's a
great play.
Tough layup. Most coaches would say take it on your left hand, protect it away from the body, but she tried to take Greta Upras there and confused her into it and draw the foul. It was I think I was surprised. Most viewers at home would be surprised to see her go with the right hand and trick the defender into getting the foul and the finish.
Chelsea Shumpert, and this team, of course, Shumpert has had to take the lead along with Mo Lundqvist, Praise, and Simona and Costa, and of course Tia Freeman as well is not on the floor at the moment, your sister, and she's putting up some good numbers. But Jasmine Joyner, talk about the effect that has had on this team, because she was not having her, in 10 games, nearly 20 points a game, 10.5 rebounds, 2.5 steals. Yeah,
she's a really big impact, and I think most coaches agree that she's top 5, but probably top 3 players in the league when she's healthy and fit. And the offensive rebounds, the defensive rebounds, the points she scores, there's no one quite like her in the league now. Maybe Marissa Quick, you could argue, is one of the bigs, but we don't have any dominant bigs to her style. Now Kate Oliver left the league mid-season as well.
Yes.
Jasmine Joyner would be up there as your number 1 big, I imagine, if we did some kind of mock draft. She'd be the first one taken, and everything flows through her. And when you see a player like her go after offensive rebounds, crash the glass, she's got this screen and roll game with Chelsea. Yeah. It was so effective. Like, it's a big piece of your offense gone. So to come back from that and work out things. Okay, Praise, you're going to have to play a lot of minutes here. You know, you're going to have to take over. We know you're young, but we've seen she's been effective so far.
Absolutely.
But big miss, but chance for other people to step up.
Yeah, and it's been the same on the Oaklands Wolves side, of course, with players in, players out. The academy players getting a chance, of course, academy players then getting injured and not being available, and it's just been that kind of season. But Costa leading the way with 7 points, 3 steals, and 1 turnover, 1 rebound. Shumpert is at the line and drains that.
And injuries is something you never want to see, but as a youngster or one of these players who don't get as many minutes, well, it's exciting. Here's your opportunity, go out and show the coach. And
as far as Oakland Wolves are concerned, likes of Grace Strickland, who's in the lineup today, and Sophie Beard, they've had great chances. As Upras, who's only a young player herself, Estonian national team, now junior, all the junior age groups, and now a Estonian national team. She's not even thinking about those shots now. She's believing they're going in.
Yeah, we're interested. Can Oaklands keep up this, you know, this good three-point shooting? Nottingham going to stick in this zone. How's it all going to play?
Nice cut through and Rezegaev, but I'm going to keep working at that until I get it right.
Hey, I've been trying for a couple of years, so good luck with you.
Maybe I'll speak to her at half-time and get the exact pronunciation. Or we get something on the chat as Zorka Boris is in. Good games at the weekend for her. Hungarian international puts it up just off right, and good box out by boxing out the defensive rebounder there, Melita Emmanuel Carr. They've just got to keep zipping the ball around us and the skip passes, as Tor says, and an issue at the table.
The shot clock has reset to more than it should have. It'll be interesting to see if Oaklands have a sideline set against the zone, something that most coaches don't go over as much. We're used to seeing a man, so let's see if they've got a specific sideline set here. Lee Ryan looks to be shouting to the troops to get them in position.
Well, they do give it back to the inbounder. It's just short. Melita Emmanuel Carr wanting to get in the flow. She's had some big games in the 9 games that she's had. They need another one tonight and at the weekend. Sarsens, she'll push it ahead to Dorka. Can she make the layup? Just in and out, but that was tough. She was going so fast. Nottingham Wildcats come away with it.
Yeah, that's a big body to finish over as well, though. With Chloe Gona chasing you down, it's a tough layup.
And good job again, just double teaming the post, and right place, right time, Laura Milligan.
I think the Nottingham teammates need to help Praise out more there. She's stuck in the key. We didn't see any cuts as we did prior. They just left her for dead a little bit.
Another layup missed, but Milligan gets the rebound. Melita takes the 3 and she drains it. And this is how they're going to have to play. It's going to have to be scrappy, get after the rebounds, get an extra possession.
Yeah, and we see Grace Strickland looking to check in here, and I'm not surprised. Good shooter going against the zone. It's an ideal opportunity for her to get some shots up.
Grace played in all 3 games at the weekend. And not afraid of being on the floor in any situation. Chelsea, right hand from the left again. Gaynor with another rebound. She had a strong game over the weekend as well. And 3's up. And no problem for Simone Costa.
And it's her panning out similar to Caledonia game here at the start with this hot shooting, up tempo, and it slowed down last time, so we'll see if this one slows down today.
Rita, it's just amazing. I'm running out of superlatives.
It's impressive. It is certainly impressive out there.
But she's going to have to keep doing this today and at the weekend, and just keep knocking down every open shot she gets.
Completely. They're going to need it in that playoff game, and we're interested to see, will Nottingham maybe, she's guarding one of the bigs, do they go into that big and try and maybe get Great in a bit of foul trouble here to get her off the floor?
Yeah, they've certainly got the advantage on the inside of the key, closer to the bucket, but again, Laura Milligan, 6 foot tall, just gets after it. Just constant movement and energy. Oh, beautiful pass. Oh, good play by, they miss another. That's 3 they've missed now, but they don't get that one. And Laura Milligan with a nice weight there with the pass. Just talk about what she's looking at, and finally she finds Greta.
Yeah, I think sometimes in the zone you think you get a good look and you're just going to go for it, but you've got to work the zone a little bit and you might get that even better look at times. against the zone, I think the three-point shot is always there. In my opinion, you can always swing it and get an open, relatively open three, but it's getting those easy layups and those good finishes, drawing the fouls like you would against the man offense that teams need to see, and will sometimes take a little bit longer against the zone offense.
Back underway. Becky Duomo is in for Nottingham Wildcats. Bodies flying to the ground and no quarter being given. This is full on, and this does mean more to Oaklands Wolves. They can get 7th. They're in 7th at the moment, but they need a win to retain 7th because Newcastle Eagles, who are in 8th at the moment, have the head-to-head on them. As for the Wildcats, they've got 4th, but they want momentum going in to their game against the Mystics. Shots up, off the glass. Casanova drains the 2. Right at the buzzer, and what a breathtaking first quarter. Both teams really on point offensively for sure, and 2 different styles, but making for an exciting game.
Yeah, it's exciting to see, and I don't know whose style's going to prevail. A team's going to change their style. It's end-to-end with Oaklands at times looking to push the ball, Nottingham playing this zone. I think not only to give the opportunity to rest and forcing Oaklands into the outside shot, but to slow the tempo down as well. Hoping to force Oaklands into 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, numerous passes and slow the game, and then they can get going. But at the same time, we've seen them not afraid to run. They've had a few steals at the top, and Nottingham were quite happy to get out, but more guard focused on that front.
Yeah, and leading the way, Gritter up plus 14 points. She's leading this team in points per game, 12.6. Well, she's already well above that. This could be, we've seen fantastic games from her pretty much every week. This could be a breakout game if she keeps going at this pace.
Yeah, and it's something you want to see before the playoffs. You know, sometimes you say you don't want to use up all these, all the makes before this playoff game, but with a shooter like her, hopefully it'll continue, and we'll see it on Saturday as well.
That's great. Upras 14, Sarson 6, Milligan 3, but as usual, she's got the 1 steal to her name, but it's not just the steal she gets, it's the deflection that leads to steals for other players.
And she guards the best player a lot of the time. She's not afraid. She will say, you know, everyone will look around that change rooms, who's going to take them, and Lauren's the first one to throw her name in the hat.
That's great to see her playing well. As for the Wildcats, 10 points for Costa, leading points against Newcastle in that crunch game for them at the weekend and in the All-Star 5. And she's just carrying on where she left off, 10 points, 3 steals, just the 1 turnover and the 1 rebound. I'm really impressed with her in particular.
Yeah, super impressed, and I wish we saw more of this when we had Jasmine Joyner fit and Siobhan Pryor playing, and if Tia was playing as well. It'd be a really exciting lineup, but this little stretch is, the 2 years I've seen her at Nottingham, is by far the best stretch I've seen her play, and she's just asserting herself onto the game that she hasn't done before.
Praise with 4 points, Schumpert and Lundqvist with 3, and Casanova with the big 2 right at the buzzer. So they've got plenty of options. Gaynor inside, giving them some size and steals, 2 rebounds for her. I think she's just going to be in there, especially if they're going to play that zone, filling the space, giving them some height to make it tough for Oaklands to get to the basket.
Yeah, she's someone we haven't really seen the ball in her hands in that post area yet. I've seen her work before, and I think she's really effective, but with Praise inside, they've got to work out who's going low, who's going high here. So we see Chloe's on with Moa Lundqvist, so Moa's going to play that kind of elbow-to-elbow role, and Chloe's going to go low post to low post. So if she gets it, she's quite effective in there when we see her get those touches.
So that's the first quarter done. The voice of Tor Freeman alongside me for the last regular season game for the WBBL for these 2 teams. Melita Manuel-Carr back in the lineup. Been out for the last few games. There's the skip pass, but it can be dangerous. Harrison waiting for her to let her get the 3 go. We know she can be deadly from behind the arc. There's Strickland all the way across. Shots up, just short, and Grace gets her hands in, but Gaynor, great attempted steal by Strickland. And she's been doing a lot of that, Grace, not just a scoring threat, but playing well on D.
And that was the matchup I want to see tonight, is Chelsea Shuntfoot versus Amari Carter. And if we could get more of that matchup, please, to the coaches, it'd be an exciting game.
Good D by Carter and Melita Manuel-Carr. And Lundqvist sort of taking away her advantage of size by trying to put the ball straight on the floor.
Yeah, and sometimes we've seen this double team come, so maybe she's a bit hesitant at that in mind, trying to get a move done early before the double team arrives.
Strickland looking for the pass across. Harrison, they know her threat. Who's going to get left open for that split second? Melita can hit the 3 for sure. And she attacks, and throws it up. And that wasn't a great end to the offence as Becky Duomo gets the rebound off the air ball. Chelsea Shumpert, all action, leading scorer on this team without Janice Joyner being in. Shumpert wants the ball, goes right, attacks, and just puts the floater up, but Oaklands Wolves just doing enough.
Yeah, better defence there. I think Chelsea Shumpert's going to make that more times than not, so maybe living a little bit dangerously, but we'll see how it plays.
Carter catches and turn around, just short, in fact just long there, and Nottingham Wildcats get the rebound. With Gritter going off and playing so well we could really do with Amari Carter, really hitting the high time in the offence, but hitting the high time on the defence is Melita, who's smiling, trying to get hold of the ball. And I think they're going to have to call a possession change. She just couldn't quite get hold of that. Good defence again, just couldn't quite get possession of it.
Yeah, really good defence, and I think Melita is someone in this lineup right now who could step up and generate a bit of offence off the dribble. She's probably, after Amari Carter, the best at creating that. So let's see if she plays with the ball in her hands a bit more here.
Yeah, her highest score, 19 points, 10 rebounds in that heartache of a loss against Newcastle Eagles. Up there, up in Newcastle, as Casanova again. Eugene Casanova just knocks another two down.
Yeah, and DJ Casanova has been really good here tonight. 2 shots early, do a world of good confidence-wise, and somebody usually only sees limited minutes per game, and they split it with the other juniors, so to hit 2 shots already, I'm sure she's feeling it.
Can you just tell the viewers about obviously you have first-hand knowledge of what goes on at Nottingham with your sister Tia playing there and doing so well, and the sort of junior programme, the community programme up there at Nottingham.
Yeah, Siobhan Barr heads up the junior programme there, and KENRICK LIBURD also coaches the academy side, so they get in the juniors as other academies and give them opportunities to play in this WBL lineup. I believe a few of them have exams today, and that's why they're not here, unfortunately. Okay. But they normally take 5 or 6 juniors on that bench and pack it out, and they contribute to the team. It's not they're there for it to show, oh, we have juniors. They're there because they really contribute to this lineup.
Talking to juniors, Sophie Beard is on. Dolka Boros catches, attacks, pulls up, and she's just off. Big rebound by Lundqvist. She's impressive and brings the ball down. Hands off to Shumpert, and Lizzie Harrison with the reach over foul. So there are quite a lot of similarities between how Nottingham runs and from the academy side and the Oaklands Wolves players getting big chances here and over the weekend, last weekend.
Definitely a lot of similars. They both got this WBL academy set up, both their own junior setups, and they both utilise local universities. I know Nottingham have partnerships with both Nottingham Trent and the University of Nottingham, so yep. Wherever the course suits them better, they tend to go to.
Of course, Oaklands Wolves have the link in with Hearts Uni. A lot of the players, Britta and Dolka and certainly Marissa, are taking further education at Hearts University, so it links in really well junior studies alongside playing high-level basketball in the WBBL. Melita Manuel Carp doing a good job on her at the moment. Dolka. Sophie Beard is going to shoot, but she's blocked by Becky Duomo. Just needed a fake there, maybe 3-on-1, and they finish and they tie the game, and the block at one end, and Oaklands Wolves just couldn't get back on D. And
I did 3-on-1 at my practice last night, and I think some of the girls take a watch of that, because that was how to finish a 3-on-1 play.
Yeah, they didn't complicate that at all, did they? Took the first option finish. Carr. Just off for Amari Carter, but that's such a tough shot. You really feel that Nottingham are trying to push here, that they're going to make the statement for the game. And the three's up, and it's just off, and good box out by Amari Carter. Now she's got to get out to Chelsea Shumpert, and she just got halfway there and didn't put her hands up.
Yeah, and I think Amari's frustrated there. She's blocked out the biggest player on the court in praise, and no one else has cleaned up the rebounds. And Chelsea Shumpert, the smallest player on the court. So as a player, that would really frustrate me.
Yeah, Coach Lee Ryan will really have to keep an eye on that. They've all got to be working as hard as they can. Nice ball movement by Beard. And again, they just really keying on Amari, and you get the steal again, and the Nottingham have numbers here. Outside for the three in transition is just short, and Oaklands Wolves will retain possession. They got away with one there, Tor.
Yeah, definitely got away with one, and I think Melita might be injured here. We'll have to see.
Melita is on the floor. She's come back to playing at Oaklands Wolves. Just lowering the voice slightly because Melita is very close to us, and she was nursing a leg injury, rehabbing, came and trained with Oakland Wolves, and then was able to sign. So she has got that history of knee issues, which you don't want to flare up, but can do from time to time.
Definitely, and I think not playing those 2 or 3 game stretch, you've got to be careful when you're coming back in, not to load up too quickly and how you're going to manage these minutes. And ensuring practice kind of keeps you in that rhythm.
The key thing is, well, she had started to walk. Frustration there for Melita, and she really did start. She had that stretch of games where she had 19 and 10 against Newcastle. Essex Rebels, she went big as well in a huge win for the Wolves. She was just starting to get going, and then she's had to step away from the floor because of COVID issues, and now she's back first game today, trying to get ready for the weekend, and we hope it's nothing too serious, as Oaklands Wolves are already players down, with Louise Rouse with concussion, who's potentially not going to make the playoffs. Talking to Lee Ryan pre-game, and Josie Leovold struggling with a calf. She's been great, high energy, playing at a high level, and Daisy Porter with a tweaked ankle. Again, all energy, hustle, doing a good job.
Yeah, I wonder if it's these younger players not used to this kind of workload before and stepping up to this kind of intensity for the first time. You see it, I know some of the academies suffer when players come from under 16 program and step up to training at the academy constantly.
Yep.
They're not ready to take this workload on their body. They don't appreciate, you know, when I was down in Worthing, we used to see Alex Woomer used to spend 20, 30 minutes before every practice session, you know, warming up, and some of the younger guys could laugh at him and he'd say, no, I've been doing this enough years that I know I need to fully prepare my body so when I go out there I'm ready to perform.
And it is a massive, it's almost another separate industry, isn't it? Looking after your body, warming up, warming down, all these stretch bands that are available. The physio, when we arrived, I think there was some other sports going on, but was very busy, the physio room. And it is maybe the busiest room as Harrison. We don't want her going down into the physio room for sure, because she can certainly bust this zone.
Yeah, definitely one of those players, and she's the X factor. Her and Melita are really the X factors for Oakland Wolves. If she has a good game, it gives them a third or fourth option that we just don't see from them normally.
Again, right hand light from the left, but if you go quick enough and get close enough to the hoop, I guess it doesn't matter which hand.
Yeah, she was under the hoop there. I think trying to get that left hand round would have been a reverse tight layup, so nice choice there by Simone Costa.
Carter, back out to Beth. A little bit flat there from Beth. And the ball to Nottingham Wildcats, who lead by 2. It's been a struggle for the Wolves. They've struggled in transition defence, and just got to keep firing away if they're open. Sophie Baird on defence against Nottingham Wildcats. What an opportunity for her, and the turn round off the glass is good, and with that little bit of fade and the extra size, it's almost unguardable.
Yeah, that fadeaway move is so effective. As I said before, scores 4 or 5 of them a game, and a routine shot for her when most players would find that extremely difficult.
Good defence by the Wildcats again, but Oaklands Wolves trying to get the skip passes, but they're really finding it tough to get a good look. They're going to have to just throw it up, step back, and it misses everything. And Amari Carter looking a frustrated figure at the moment. They're really keying on her, the Nottingham Wildcats defence.
Yeah, they're keying in on her, but I think giving her the ball with 2 seconds left and she's 2 to 3 metres outside the three-point line, it's, you know, passing somebody a grenade before it's about to go off. She's got to shoot it up. She's got to shoot it from so far away that most of her teammates would struggle to hit that shot. I think anyone in the league would struggle to hit that shot. So just to be given that at that time is definitely going to frustrate most players.
But that's a real positive for Nottingham Wildcats defence. They've stepped up and just making it difficult for Oaklands Wolves to get a look from the outside, and making it tough for any cutters or any shots inside as well.
Yeah, I think credit to the Nottingham Wildcats defence here, but also Greta Opris not on the floor. She was so effective early on. Whether Lee Ryan's going to introduce her back sooner, you know, is he trying to keep her minutes low so she's ready to go for the weekend? We've got to bear that in mind. So let's see.
Yeah, with Greta Opris 14 points in 10 minutes, so She's being really effective. And for Nottingham Wildcats, they've got 5 steals, 8 turnovers, 6 offensive rebounds, 15 defensive. They have got that size advantage, but also with the likes of Chelsea Shumpert and Simone Costa, they've got 2 outstanding guards as well.
Yeah, it's a real inside-outside game here. They kind of take away one threat and they're going to go with the other. And we saw the pick and roll up the top with Chelsea and Praise, and it was super effective. They managed to get the switch. I'm not sure if that's Oakland's scheme or if they were going to see more of the double team. I like that option off it and pressure the ball handler. But somebody like Chelsea Shumpert, you've got to be careful with pressuring her, as she will blow by, split the double team and cause real problems.
Yeah, she's having another solid season. Just over 19 points a game, Chelsea Shumpert. So it's really time now for Oaklands Wolves to step up. They won't want this lead to get beyond, ideally, this 4 points. But Carter responding really well now. Can she make something happen? Hesitates. Left hand finish. No good. Rebound. She's just got to play with so much energy now. And just let her play do the talking. Mari Carter. And miscommunication between Beth and Sophie there, and the ball goes out of bounds. And on cue, Greta Rupper's back in, and it is getting the balance right. But as commentators and as spectators, we want all the best players on for as long as possible, as long as they're playing at their absolute best.
Yeah, definitely. It's exciting to see someone like Greta Rupper back into the game.
Carter with a point to prove. Shumpert pushes that jump shot up. Greta gets the rebound pushed, or half gets the rebound, and praise Igarevba. In close attention, but you've got to box these players out, otherwise it's going to be a long night. Greta looking good. Play by Greta, and this time with a wraparound layup, Lauren.
And that's the difference. All credit to Greta there. She drew 2 defenders. They had to rush out to her and left that inside option open. You know, without her on the floor, that option's not available to Lauren Milligan.
A really smart play by the Estonian international, Greta Rupras. Who's entertained us royally through, as all the Oaklands Wolves have, in their own way, and good block from behind, but by Greta. But it's going to be called a foul and 2 shots.
Yeah, and those are the mistakes in the playoffs that you can't afford. You can't fall asleep on here, because against the likes of Leicester Riders or Seven Oaks Suns, it might be a flare screen for 3 points, and these are really big plays in the game, and they add up.
This is the free throw. 64% from the line, 50% from 2-point range, but we've already seen how effective she is from inside the key, but she misses both. So Oaklands Wolves let off the hook there inside the final 2 minutes. And the pass just a tough, too tight for Greta, and another foul.
Yeah, and she'll have felt she didn't do anything wrong. The other one inside was a little bit more her, but there she just wrong place, wrong time, and ran into Chelsea Shumpert. And as we know in basketball, the benefit of the doubt always goes to the offensive player.
And Dorcas comes back in, and Greta has to go back out. Chelsea Shumpert against Beth Sarsons. Notion away from the ball. And there's the high-low you talked about. And it's off, and Carter gets the rebound, but they had a really good look there.
Yeah, that was an exciting scene. We saw an elevator screen and then a cross screen. That was quite exciting play.
And again, that pass from the middle back to the top across. And they missed the layup, and miscommunication. Lauren's saying my fault. Again, those catches have just got to be absolutely sure.
Yeah, and she's the first one back on defense. You know, as all coaches will say, you never know what's going to happen. Even if it's open layup, we see players missing from time to time. And credit to her, she's the first one back. Unfortunately, she stepped out of bounds. But you want to see these layups are going to get missed. So first one there. If it's a Nottingham Wildcats player, they get the easy 2. But all credit to Lauren for getting back so well there.
And I think that really highlights her mindset. Mistake at one end, just get back down and see. And if you're the player going in for the layup, you hear the footsteps behind you, maybe just lose that concentration for a split second.
Definitely, I think it got into Becky's head there, and she was unsure, and I'm sure she'd back herself to make her right-handed layup 10 times out of 10, but doesn't quite get it to go there.
Now, you mentioned in commentary talking about the screens between the bigs, the elevator screen, the cross screen. I'm with you. The elevator screen, can you just explain to the viewers what they're trying to achieve there?
So the elevator screen, we had 2 players on about the elbows, a little bit further in, and you want to leave a gap about enough for 1 player to run through. So we saw DJ Casanova coming up through those screens, and as she comes through, the 2 players close together like an elevator doors, and trap the defender behind them. And hopefully, as she flares out towards that 3-point line, defender's blocked in below the free throw line, and she can get that 3-point shot.
Get the open shot. Well, thank you for explaining that to the viewers and myself. It's been a while since I set an elevator screen. I may well have set one in my career, but I didn't even. Maybe it was called something else then.
And sometimes it's the bigs. They say, "Hey, set a screen here."
Then it just develops. You got it. Here we go. So another close one here at Oaklands College in St Albans Hearts. Just over a minute remaining, and Nottingham Wildcats. And there's the high-low, and Carter. Tough foul there on Praise Igorevba, and she ends up on the floor, but she is a real handful.
Yeah, and pretty close maybe to an unsportsmanlike foul there. Sometimes we see those calls as we see here on the replay. I don't think Amari Carter meant any harm, helped her up straight away, but not something you want to see with the playoffs coming up on Saturday.
She got straight up. I think she was quite shocked that she'd ended up on the floor, but again, Carter just feeling, I guess, with the mismatch and on the screens, that she was outsized again, and you know, credit to Nottingham Wildcats, they're using their advantage.
Yeah, and they're working it so well with these switches. They're forcing Oaklands to make these decisions that are tough. Okay, am I going to guard Chelsea Shumpert on the perimeter and leave her open for 3, or are we going to have a mismatch in the post?
It's a conundrum that Coach Lee Ryan's got to sort out at half-time. All the way across, Beth Sarson's had a look, but they really got out well. The Wildcats, Boris gets it to Carter. They're just working around the outside. They just need a little bit of space. Harrison, she won't need much, but they're going to have to get the shot off. And they run out of time. Great defense from Nottingham Wildcats. Really, it needed Lizzie to shoot there, but there was nothing open around the outside.
No, you felt like this Oaklands offense is highly reliant on these 3-point shots. If they don't fall, and they're unlikely to fall the entire game, you know. So they need another option, whether they're going to put it inside, whether they're going to have a high-low, whether they're going to pin the zone in. We need to see something else for them.
Great pass again. And no finish on the first time, but goes straight back up, does Praise Igorevba, and she looking impressive and causing major issues.
Yeah, I imagine some big D1 schools are going to be calling her name come recruitment.
Yeah, exactly. Now, can Oaklands Wolves get a look? Carter steps into the shot, drains it for 3, and how important will that shot be as time expires come the end of this game? And it just keeps Oaklands Wolves nice and close. They're down by 2 against the very, very impressive Nottingham Wildcats team tour.
Yeah, and I think especially for Amari Carter to hit that shot must be nice. She's feeling a bit frustrated there. She kept getting pinned in by the big. She kept getting switched onto the big. Felt like she was fighting for the rebounds, and maybe her teammates weren't as committed at times. So for her to hit that 3-point shot will give her a nice, you know, bit of fresh air and give her that rise coming into that second half, and hopefully give her teammates inspiration from it.
Exactly. 8 of 16 Oaklands Wolves are from behind the arc, but they are relying on it. 4 of 5 for Greta Rupras, 2 of 3 for Beth, 1 of 3 for Amari, but what a big shot that was. And as for Nottingham Wildcats, they're just spreading the offense around. Shumpert with 5 points, Lundqvist with 7 with 7 rebounds, those 7.7 rebounds, and Costa with 12 points, 3 steals, and a rebound and an assist. But then you've got young Casanova who hit a big shot at the end of the first and has hit another 2 since. Gaynor's come in and done well, 4 rebounds. And Igorevba is starting to really be a threat inside.
Yeah, she's been really impressive, and I think, unfortunately, in the UK, she's probably the best under 19 maybe in the country, women's-wise. Unfortunately, she's not British. She's got a German passport.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone else producing at this level this often for a WBBL side. You know, to play in that top level of women's basketball at that age as an under 18 is truly impressive to start, and I don't think she'd be out of place. I think she'd start on most teams in the WBBL as a big. If anyone said, you know, I've got this player available, they take her. She is really class inside.
Yeah, and it's a specialist position. A lot of basketball, as we've spoken about over the last few weeks, is facing the basket, stretching the game out. Yeah, you're 6'10", but can you shoot the three? Well, you know, if you're 6'10" and you can't, we'll just take up some space and be a real problem and a pain inside the key and set screens, whether for another big or setting it for the guards and cause some confusion inside.
Yeah, super impressive. And to go after those offensive rebounds as well, I think sometimes when they're out on the perimeter, we don't see that offensive rebound for them. And if you consistently get offensive rebounds and put them back in and defensive rebounds, the coach is going to put you in the game. You can't, someone's got to get the rebound every time. And if she's doing it, it creates such hassle for the Oaklands Wolves here. They've got to figure out who's boxing out. Are we going to have to send 2 players to box her out? Okay, if I'm boxing her out, I can't rebound because she's such a handful. There's so many permutations to it and tough to figure out.
Yeah, agreed. Of course, 6'10", I'm referring to the men's game. For the girls, I mean, when you're getting 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", even with some of the girls, that's the real size. And you're either an all-court player at that size, as we saw with some of the Caledonian Pride players, or you're an inside player. But half-time here, 33-35, and we're going to leave you with an interview I had pre-game with Lee Ryan. Really, really nice to hear his thoughts. He always speaks to us pre-game, just to let us know about team news and what his thoughts are. And this was him being able to speak pre-game, the last regular season game of the WBBL for the Oaklands Wolves. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Good afternoon, and it's a real pleasure to have Coach Lee Ryan from the Oaklands Wolves alongside me as we were pre-game here. Just a few short minutes before we go live for the Nottingham Wildcats game. Lee, massive congratulations on Oaklands Wolves making the playoffs first off.
Yeah, thanks. We're really proud of the efforts we've put in this year. I think everyone's faced the challenges of COVID, in and out of the sport. It's been really difficult. Couple that with all the injuries we've had. It's been very challenging for the players, but to come through and make the playoffs is a great testament to the work that they put in.
And what's impressed you most about this group, and what have they still got to improve on to do well today against a tough Wildcats team, and maybe do something in the playoffs as well?
Yeah, I think our resilience. We've been through the ringer this year, and they've continued to bounce back all the time. So every other week it seems we had a new challenge, but they responded every single time. They're very receptive to feedback. They learn a lot from each game they play, and I think that's the key moving forward for today, setting ourselves up for the playoffs as well. Continue to learn, continue to get better.
Can you just talk briefly about some of the academy players? I know Grace Strickland's played some minutes in the last few games. Sophie Beard's here today, but there's been others that have been contributing, especially in the Durham game.
Yeah, the Durham game was a perfect opportunity for us to give some of those, even our club kids in the under-16s, an opportunity, their first taste of WBBL. But the academy kids have been fantastic. I mean, Grace stepped in partway through the year, and she's embraced the opportunity ahead of what should be a really good challenge for her next season. But obviously, you've had Daisy Porter, you've had Josie Leovold, that have been huge contributors for us. And then the biggest one being Louise Rouse. Obviously, we're really sad that she's going to be out of this game, and it looks like the playoffs as well with concussion. But she's been phenomenal this year, so it's really sad for her season to end that way.
Yeah, the academy players, each time we've commentated, I've stopped saying that I'm surprised at how well they're doing, because they're really learning on the job, and it's a steep learning curve for these young players.
It is. I mean, they're going up against seasoned professionals week in, week out, but they just show no fear. That's what I love about them. I love coaching them because they're just bright-eyed, open-eared, and they're willing to go in and do what they can do. And
just a couple of more questions, just quickly on that, without going through everybody. We haven't got time to speak about everybody, but Marissa Quick is resting today. But just talk about her involvement with the group, and Amari Carter starting to really get in the flow of things over the weekend.
Yeah. Amari's had a tough year. First year out of college to then end up in the country in a COVID situation. She's hardly left her room for a whole year. So mentally, that's been a challenge for her. Couple that, she had a tendonitis issues, which kept her out in the middle part of the season. But she's starting to show her true quality, and she's one of the best guards in the country.
Sure.
And then when you see her linking up with Marissa, I mean, that was the plan all along. We've only just started to scratch the surface of it recently, so the hope is, by Marissa resting again today, that we can get some more minutes with those two on the floor together at the weekend.
No, that's great, and we're looking forward to that, and obviously to the game today. Just one final question, if you don't mind, a message to the fans that haven't been able to come and watch the games live, and to the friends and families, of course, of the roster and of the team, right through from the academy players right through to the most senior players.
Yeah, I think that's always surprises all of us after the game, the amount of love and support that we get through messages and through them being at home, unfortunately watching the stream. But I think the whole league's done a really good job of stepping up the live streaming this year, and I hope that continues next year to be able to extend the reach to fans that can't make it to the venues. But we're ready for fans to be back. We want to be back in here. We want to create that wolf den and create that noise. So we're looking forward to that next season.
That's great. Well, Lee, good luck today. You know, some big opposition. They've got fourth lockdown, but if you win today, you can get seventh over Newcastle. Yeah,
no, Nottingham got a really tough side. Obviously, they gave us a hide in their place earlier on in the year. They've got size, they've got really good guards, so we're going to have to play well today if we want to get a result. The difference between 7th and 8th is marginal, so we'll just take the game as it comes, and then we'll be ready for the weekend.
Okay, well, thank you, Lee. It's been great covering the games. Really enjoyed watching the women's basketball. Very impressed with the players here and all around the league. And we look forward to the game. Thank you, Lee Ryan.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Oaklands College in St Albans. It's the home of the Oaklands Wolves, and at the moment the Wildcats are in the ascendancy and are taming the Wolves by 2 points, 35-33 up at the half. And it's been a real game of runs, hasn't it? So I've got Tor Freeman alongside me, his sister Tia. We've just been chatting to at half time, playing with the Nottingham Wildcats, but previously with Oakland's Academy as Oakland's Wolves WBBL. Was she at the Academy as well?
Yeah, she did 2 years at the Academy and then 1 year at Hearts Uni, and then has transferred up to Nottingham Trent with the Nottingham Wildcats.
She's doing at Nottingham Uni up there, I guess, continuing her studies.
Yeah, she's continuing her studies, so this is her final year, and then all completed.
So maybe back to the Oakland Wolves for next season then?
I'm not sure. I think things are up in the air at the moment. I know a lot of programmes across the league have these masters programmes that especially, I think, Essex have one.
Yeah.
Durham, Edinburgh, numerous.
A lot of the players are on those, I think, for extended academics.
Yeah, it works really well, and they go off to the States, a lot of them, to do their undergrad, so the States can't offer you that post-grad unless you graduate early. So to be able to come to the UK and get a postgraduate scholarship to pursue a master's or pursue something else is a really good benefit, and is a great way to attract high-quality calibre players to our league. Which
is exactly what we want. And obviously, see Mick Kirk there and Tracy, high calibre table officials who recently, this has been like their second home. 3 games last weekend, the Mystics before that, and these games don't go ahead without the statisticians that keep us up to date with the FIBA Live stats, as well as the referees as well. Just a word about them, as we, it's so important that we have top level people in those positions.
Yeah, really important, and for them to train the younger ones as well and give people the opportunity. I remember doing the scoreboard at school, and I think it's something everyone should have a go, and to appreciate how difficult the job of refereeing or doing the table is. I know I pressed the buzzer at the wrong time, and that moment of embarrassment comes over us all, and then you can give back to your club, whether you're a player and you're going to go and ref one of the younger age groups team, maybe the under 12s if you're a 16s, yep, or do the table, and it gives that community feel and helps others benefit.
Yeah, getting qualified. Get level 1 qualification at 16 now, and level 2 a bit older, and refereeing the central venue leagues and junior leagues, as you say. So it's all so important, and without all the volunteers, these games don't go ahead. But all eyes now on the players. A real two global teams, and Lizzie Harrison, she's from Suffolk, but very much an Oakland Wolves player. Oakland's Wolves Academy's member of staff, as the ball goes in to praise Igorevba, and flip-up layup, offensive rebound again by Praise, and finally Oakland's Wolves get the ball back, but in showing their intentions early there, Nottingham.
Yeah, I like the offense from Oakland's Wolves. We saw the skip, we saw the try and establish some low post presence, so looks like they've tweaked things at half-time, and let's see if they work.
And the zone carries on 2-3. But they're coming over, trying to get the ball out of Amari Carter's hands. Sarson's being patient, but getting an open shot wherever that is. 5 seconds, Sarson's penetrate kick. It's got to go up, even if it's a jab step. It's got to go up now, right on the buzzer. And 24-second shot expires. They almost got it off, but not quite.
Yeah, I think Lee Ryan will be really disappointed there. Sure, he's drawn something up, and he seems quite frustrated on the sideline that they're not quite executing how it's drawn up and generating a high-quality shot.
Nottingham Wildcats chasing every second of that possession, and it's reaping rewards at the moment as they keep Oakland's Wolves scoreless. Can they benefit now at the offensive end? Nikki Duomo to Simone Costa. Now the shot clock runs down on Nottingham. Ball's loose, and Lizzie Harrison gets the rebound. Good job by both sets of defenders there.
Yeah, it seems like this changing from that offensive track meet we had in the first quarter to a defensive battle for the second half.
Harrison now is wide open, and she just off left. She won't get a more open look than that. Carter back to Harrison. Pass fakes to the left, gives it back to Carter. Just off, but again, good look. And here comes Chelsea Shumpert. Push, and drags it out for the half court. Longfist, but straight inside to Praise. Just a little bit too much sauce on the pass, but great intention.
Yeah, really good. Good seal there, and I liked how they worked the angle. Some people would try and push it in from that sideline, but they recognise that's not the angle. Let's move it to the top and a better angle for the post feed.
Great points being made by Tor here. Oh, what a pass. Oh, the layup misses, but Greta in. Another offensive miss, and they wrestling just fence. And Greta's got an elbow in the face. This is top-level hustle under the basket there.
And something we didn't see from Oaklands Wolves in the first half was this cutting against the zone that could be so effective when deployed correctly. And it's going to give them another options instead of just hoisting these three-point bombs.
Yeah, and I heard at half-time when I just walked past the huddle, Marissa Quick had the clipboard and was imploring the team to box out, and no boxing out needed there. But whether you're boxing out, on the flip side, get after the offensive rebounds as well, and Marissa taking the lead on that one.
Yeah, definitely, and a big like her, well, that's what her bread and butter is, so she'll be imploring someone else to go and do that work for her.
Upras goes all the way round, can't get it to go, but Laura Milligan again just grabs the rebound out of mid-air, and I like what Carter did there. She just sort of stopped for a second and set that little, I don't know what you'd call it, a rub screen, and allowed Greta Upras to go to the basket.
Yeah, we've seen some different kind of things from Oaklands that we didn't see in the first half, and they seem to be quite effective, even if it's just moving the bigs away from the ring so they can't defensive rebound as effectively, allowing Oaklands Wolves to gain the offensive rebound.
And Laura Milligan drains the second, and just good concentration from her. She doesn't seem she worries about the miss before, just complete focus.
Yeah, and I think that's the confidence Lee Ryan gives her in he knows it's not her strongest point of shooting, but it's something she's working on.
Good moving without the ball, but misses. Ball's loose, Greta gets it. It really is rebounding by committee here for Oaklands Wolves. They hand it to Carter, who attacks, penetrate kick. Just need to keep moving that ball one step ahead of the Nottingham Wildcats defence. And it halfway down and out, and how unfortunate for Mari Carter, but another good look for her.
Yeah, and I think we saw a bit of Nottingham, either a match-up zone there or a man defence. I didn't quite, because we only saw a few passes, but let's see if they've changed out of this zone here.
3-point lead for the Wildcats, but Oaklands will see more in this. They're being more aggressive, getting rebounds, and stepping out Greta Upras, but Chelsea Shumpert gets round just long, and Upras getting some rebounds, important rebounds for the Wolves. Upras gives it to Harrison. They're getting all the way out to her, 3-4 foot behind the 3-point line, but then she pulls up for two, and she's got that game as well, and how we want Lizzie Harrison just to get completely in the flow. Yeah,
and that height advantage really paid off there. You could see her take a second look and realise she's got the length and the height to extend out over the top of Chelsea Shumpert. Excellent play by Greta Upras. She's trying to keep up with the player. She's now going to hit the three. Yes! She loves that. She exhales and screams and puts Oaklands Wolves back in the lead. But she made that on the defensive end to start with, up against a much bigger praise, Ega Redba. And then she makes the three with a little bit of good fortune, but they need it. Why not have a bit of luck? And I think Nottingham Wildcats may be missing the luck here with that one, and the missed layup on the previous play. Bringing in the subs here with DJ Casanova and Chloe Gaynor, and we'll see how this affects things. Giving Praise a bit of a rest. She hasn't been quite as effective to start this half, getting in the offensive rebounds, but the focus maybe not quite there for the finishes. She's young, but she's such a big body. She's still growing into her body and finding out exactly what she can do, and maybe her capabilities and her limitations. Definitely, and I think young bigs you often see not sure of it, but she's really athletic as well, that we don't see from our young bigs, so that's quite exciting. Prospects of not only the height but the athleticism. Yeah, and unfortunately, Rita Upras just not able to get the pass off there. Quick pass in, but good play again by Laura Milligan. Right place, right time, just doing enough in the post. Yeah, staying really active and not accepting that she's getting pinned in, disengages, gets around the front and continually battles against these bigs. Carter, Harrison making space, up, and it's long, but Laura Milligan in amongst two Nottingham Wildcats, and she doesn't get it this time, but she'd be back there again next time the shot goes up. Oh, without doubt, and I think you could put Lauren up against, a 6'5", maybe you see in the States, Brittany Griner, 6'9", big in the WNBA, and I think Lauren would still pursue that offensive rebound. Yeah,
nothing seems to phase her. We've got a timeout being forced by the Nottingham Wildcats, and 6-2 Oaklands Wolves lead. This is a lot better effort after losing the third 13-7. Losing the second quarter 13-7.
Yeah, I think the offense looks more active, and defense in the same way. I think Nottingham Wildcats have lacked execution. Maybe Oaklands have benefited a little bit from that. But to see the intensity step up and pressure, and the offense seems to be generating better shots. We're getting layups instead of relying on these three-pointers. We still have the three-point option from Greta is available, but different looks on offense and mixing it up and keeping the Nottingham Wildcats thinking.
That's exactly what the Wolves need to do. Up to 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a couple of turnovers, 15 turnovers for the Wolves tonight, 12 for Nottingham Wildcats. But again, these are two defensive groups that are really in your face the whole game.
Yeah, and I think Chelsea Shumpert out there is such a plus defender. She gets her hands in the passing lanes and just after people, and maybe that's why Amari Carter hasn't found it so easy at times, that she's been matched up with this two-guard front at the zone of Chelsea Shumpert and Simone Costa. And credit to Amari, she's having to fight that, run this offense, set it up, and maybe it's something she's not used to. We see a more one-on-one kind of style creating. Yeah. This is one where she's got to really move the ball and trust that her teammates are going to swing it back round to her eventually.
Yeah, she's really learning. It's been a tough year, as you'd have heard it with the interview from Lee Ryan. I asked him about Marissa and Amari, and he spoke mainly about Amari, that she's come to a country, it's a lot of COVID issues. She hasn't really been able to move around as she'd like to and have the regular sort of year that she would have liked coming out of Arizona. But I guess it's the same for players all around the continent. Yeah,
definitely. And it's interesting to see how different Americans adapt to the league and what different colleges and what style that brings.
It is great having it here. Ball's loose, and again, this time Boros, and they run out of shot clock, and it's just fantastic defence by Oaklands Wolves. Maybe they've seen the way that Nottingham Wildcats did it earlier in the game. They're saying, well, we're just as good as you at that aspect of the game.
Yeah, we've got into a real defensive battle here, and I think it's maybe for the purists a little bit of time, but really exciting to see, and for young players to watch how these teams operate and the hustle and the fight.
Lipris had to give that up. Carter, ball gets stuck just for a moment. Dorka over to Greta, just gets it. She attacks, throws it up. Good defense on the help across by Becky Duomo. Only running 7 deep with Tia, not playing. I think Oaklands Wolves, if they can keep pushing, but complete breakdown there. And a foul. Missed layup initially by Becky, but Moa Lindqvist getting in, and just miscommunication, or they've just turned their back on the cutter, and they missed the layup initially, but Lindqvist gets the rebound.
Yeah, good cut from Becky there, and she played out of Spain originally, came through the junior products at one of the clubs around the Barcelona region, and nice to see GB passport, so represented GB under 18s, I believe, as well. So interesting to see this different style of play she brings and how that compares to the British juniors who's come up in this Spanish style of play, and how does it match up?
Yeah, that's just great. We know that a lot of the coaches have been out to Spain and to other countries to learn from the coaches and the way that the game is played out there, and I think you've got to look at, of course, Estonia as well as another emerging basketball nation, as Greta Rikfus has shown us week in, week out. But look at Costa, and she gets the layup, no foul call.
Simone Costa for Portugal as well, so lots of international flavour here and European flavour, exciting to see.
Carter again picks the dribble up, Upras into the corner. They're just working it around. Now they've got to try and get a look. Carter may have to make something happen. She goes in, pulls up, and just in and out. I think Amari's going to have to just take the aggression, and again, double teaming, and Laura Milligan loving that, giving Amari Carter a slap. And they've got to do that. They've just got to jump on the ball, and Amari's going to have to push things here. And if they're not going to give her the three, she's going to have to attack the space.
Yeah, and it's effective to see, even if you don't get that offensive rebound, the ability for Oaklands Wolves to slow down whoever's caught the defensive rebound and prevent the quick outlet, and from them from busting out and attacking the other way.
Upras off the dribble, just off. Laura Milligan reaches over, but good box out by Becky Duomo. Costa. To Gainer. looking inside, but again, they had the size inside, but Oaklands Wolves had the numbers.
Yeah, I think Nottingham Wildcats need to be more patient there. Good defence from the Oaklands Wolves, but let it develop. Move the ball around and find the right angle.
Carter. Not going to let Oaklands have a look for three. Time running down. Back outside, Carter lets it go, and what patience there, especially by Beth Sarsons. Carter knocks down the three.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to do against the zone. And we see Amari here, a shot creator. We saw that early drive, didn't quite fall, but cutting off the ball, creating options and tough angles to guard.
Lost that attacks, but stopped by Laura Milligan. Now the next attack as Grace Strickland tries to play D, but it's tough against Becky Duomo, really showing her experience, but even at such a young age.
Yeah, really interesting prospect, and Nottingham have a lot of these younger players, so giving the opportunity to play with the seniors is something they try and do.
Still there, and it's tied at 42, going back and forth in the WBBL. Last game day of the season for all teams. And Oaklands Wolves have a chance to get to 7th, which will mean they will play Leicester Riders. If they don't manage the win here, they will play Sevenoaks Suns. So not a lot of difference. A lot of talent on both teams. Oaklands Wolves have got to believe whoever they play against, and the rest of this game they can cause an upset.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe this is a game, you know, for your confidence, you'd like to see beat a team like Nottingham, who have had big wins throughout the season against some of these upper echelon teams, and could give Oaklands the confidence that we can compete with those sorts of clubs.
Well, Oaklands have beaten Manchester Mystics. They've beaten Essex Rebels as well. Both those teams ahead. And simple steal for Laura Milligan, and sloppy play from the Wildcats there.
Yeah, really sloppy. I think KENRICK LIBURD gave the play call, and you still got to check the defence and not just plough straight into it.
Mari Carter, are we going to see something big from her in the 4th? Because she's open again, and she's just off, and Gaynor grabs the rebound. She had 6 rebounds, 4 points, 2 steals at the weekend, and Shuppert just knocks that down and restores the Wildcats' lead.
And here we go, this point guard battle here. See if they stay on it with Amari Carter versus Chelsea Shuppert. Yeah,
and Carter's definitely got a height advantage. They can't get Grace Strickland an open look. Milligan attacks, reverse layup. Glorious play inside by Laura Milligan.
Yeah, really nice finish. A reverse layup as well on the left-hand side with that right-hand reverse layup. Great recognition of the correct layup to use.
Now Milligan on praise Egarevba. Shuppert drag between the legs. Back and ball's loose, and they get the rebound initially, and it stays with the Wildcats, and it's tied at 44. 5 seconds remaining. And LIBURD giving some live instructions there on the run. They're actually calling it out. No timeout being used, and that's good when you've got players of that high understanding.
Yeah, and exciting. I'm sure they've worked on some of the different things. Maybe it's just a refresher. A lot of them have been in and out the lineup this season.
Nice screen as well for Shuppert, but good defense by Laura Milligan, but they can't get the defensive block out. But praise Egarevba couldn't quite get put away the offensive rebound that she grabbed. But I like that offensive play, you know, getting the ball to Shuppert, the high screen, and then they just couldn't get the offensive rebound from Egarevba to go.
Yeah, Chelsea Shuppert, such an exciting shot maker, and her versus Amari Carter is a battle I really wanted to see. And Amari from this big school in Arizona, whereas we see Chelsea from Tennessee, Chattanooga, I think, so a small school, and shows the difference in impact. I think Tia's going to... But yeah, how those two battle it out, where they go with the bigs and the, you know, big school, small school, and the difference in play and style, and shows you don't need to go to this big-time D1 to operate at this kind of level. Jasmine Joyner and Chelsea Shuppert both attending Tennessee, Chattanooga, and being great players in the league, both been up there for MVP, and so exciting to see.
Yeah, and I guess the thing with going to a big school like Amari Carter did, she put up some good numbers, but if you go to a big school and you're not getting the time, you're not going to develop as a young player. So, you know, it's getting that balance right. I think we're going to do a quick change in the commentary position, and Tia Tor's sister's just going to come in. I know Marissa Quick helped out earlier in the season, and Melita Emanuel Carr has been He's been doing some commentating as well, and now Tia's going to have to go through it.
Yeah, it'll be my first time for sure.
Okay, Tia, so you're not playing today. The physio's being extra cautious with you.
Yeah, he wants me to rest up for the playoffs, which is understandable. You know, we got a good matchup finishing 4th against Manchester, which we're hoping to win and push to go into the semi-finals. So it's looking good for us.
Yeah, that week Oakland's had a really exciting game with them a couple of Sundays ago, which really started this run that they're in. But still, injuries, you know, are a problem for Oakland's Wolves as they are. You're short-handed as well tonight. And what's needed from teams? What's needed from these two teams to get the job done tonight? Seeing that the players and the roster is quite low.
Yeah, I guess we're trying to slow the tempo, you know, and just go to our posts. You know, we're a much bigger team, so that's what we're trying to look and play inside. Whereas Oakland's, they're so guard heavy. They were shooting the threes super well in the first half, so I just keep putting the shots up if I was Oakland's and try to push the tempo on us. You know, we're probably looking a bit tired out there.
Well, we had mentioned it that running so short on numbers, maybe that will be a telling factor towards the end. 10 of 24 3-point range for Oakland's Wolves. But Amari Carter has got hot size advantage on Shumpert if they do end up going against each other. As again, triple team on the post, and Praise just brings the ball down.
Yeah, she's getting there. You know, she's a junior. She's getting the experience in this league. We're trying to work on her, you know, when the double comes to kick it out, but she's working on it today.
Milligan just short. Just needs to work on that just to get that release right. She's got so many other skills at this elite level, and Shumpert drives in and shoulder to shoulder v Carter, and that's the speed going downhill there.
That's a great bucket. That's Chelsea's best. Open floor, fast break. She's going straight to the hoop.
But I was just saying in the last play when they got the steal off Praise, if Amari Carter, and they haven't done it yet, she has got the height advantage on Shumpert, maybe get her into the post against her.
Yeah, she has a really good pull-up game in the mid-range as well. You know, that fadeaway, that's her go-to. I'd take that all day if I was Amari.
3-point lead. That's a long time since either team had a 3-point lead. It's been close all the way. Last regular season game of the WBBL season for both teams. And the zone continues. That's maybe why Carter hasn't been at a post up. She hasn't had the opportunity. And the threes in and out for Beth Sarsons there as Chelsea Shumpert pushes. Is this going to be a key stage of the game as she pulls up just long? And they get the rebound tapped by Sarsons. And that's what they're having to do, I guess, Oakland's Wolves. They can't always get two hands on the ball.
Yeah, and they're looking to go to Chelsea a lot now in this later game, hoping she takes over a bit more. I think that's what coach is going for at least.
Strickland, can she get a shot off the junior? Under 16s. Carter for 3, just long. But Grace trying to battle against Praise Egarivba. And look at the steal again, double teaming Casanova. Now they need to make it count. Can they get a 3 to tie the game again? Harrison over the top, gets it back off the attempted steal. No good. And here comes Shumpert taking control. Skip pass to Gaynor, who's had a solid game inside for them. Shumpert lets it go. That's off left. Box out by Harrison. Great effort by Lizzie. And as I was saying with Tor, when you're trying to box out the bigs from Nottingham Wildcats, you're not always going to end up with the ball. You've just got to do one of those things.
Yeah, that's a difficult job for Oaklands today, most definitely. I think we're starting to look a bit tired, so getting the subs in here, which is needed, definitely.
Two pretty good subs to come in as the juniors go out. The younger players go out, Costa and Lundqvist in. And Simone Costa with a big game at the weekend, Tia, getting you that, confirming your position in fourth, beating Newcastle.
Yeah, she stepped up massively the last 3 games. She's been having 20-point games and really showing up for us, which hopefully she's going to come to light here in the fourth as well.
Harrison to the top, Laura Milligan. Another good pass. Strickland, great catch, the ball's loose. Time running down, 10 seconds. Milligan attacks all the way across. Harrison's going to let it go. And it's just short. And look at the fight and the determination from Milligan. And then Praise goes to help her up, but she's got to get down the other end. Sarsons, ball in the face, doesn't matter. Pushes, Milligan comes out, and she's fouled before she can shoot. And crazy sequence of play there, Tia, but really showing what this game means to these players and the sort of effort that's needed.
Yeah, it was probably a smart foul from Praise right there, doing it on the floor before Lauren can get the 2 shots up.
Substitutions. Shumpert comes out and young DJ Casanova. 3 points, 2 assists versus Newcastle over the weekend. But a strong junior and academy set up at Nottingham, Tia.
Yeah, we're really trying to push the academy kids in the league this year. You know, we've got about 6 on the roster. Lots of them couldn't be here today with exams, but we've got DJ stepping up and Praise stepping up today, and Becky. They're all in the academy, so you know, it's a pretty young team out there.
Becky DeRomo, of course, yes. And a miss there by Laura Milligan. Wanted a foul if she could. She really attacked the basket, but nothing called. She was just told to just calm down, otherwise sanctions might be taken against her. And we don't want that. We don't want this game to be decided by a technical foul or a... Carter for 3 to tie the game. It's just short. And away come the Wildcats. Costa. So Lundqvist. Becky Roma, and she's doing a good job there, dragging Amari Carter out,
yeah,
and getting her to commit the foul.
She can be really good. She can really push the ball and get to the hoop if she wants to. She's just got to learn and know when to go.
A lot of young players in this league because of COVID. Academy players for the boys team here as well, playing. That's been their basketball. Is training with the senior team, and what an experience for them.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. It's great to see so many young players in the league. You know, I saw the little compilation of all the youngsters for Oaklands making the buckets at the weekend. It's so nice to see.
And of course, as we just see this offense go, Casanova just long, but again, no hesitation. Another rebound. We'll check on the amount of rebounds that Praise has got, almost stolen by Harrison. And this is a big moment. And just in and out, but look at the rebound by Nottingham Wildcats, and Moa Lundqvist right under the hoop, right place, right time, and it's a 5-point lead. And the resilience of Oaklands Wolves is being tested to the full here yet again. And might be a timeout now by, I think Lee Ryan's going to be thinking, or he's going to send subs in, and Sophie Beard comes in for Grace. The junior academy players sharing some time here.
Yeah, that's big minutes for her. I'd be super nervous coming in, but she's really done a good job today and held her own on the defensive end, and yeah, she's doing good out there.
Costa, and we're speaking in a moment about your time at Oaklands, as I know you were here at the academy.
Yeah, I did my 2 years here, and then my first year of university, I also was at Hertfordshire and did another year here. It was so good to get minutes so young at the WBBL. It was a great experience.
Again, they're really starting to get it inside to Praise in the right position. It's not, in Tor was speaking about, it's not just about throwing the ball into these bigs. You've got to get it there at the right angle, right time.
Yeah, we probably forced it a little bit too much today. Our turnovers probably all go in trying to give it to the post, but if we give it to the right time, Praise can really get a good shot off for us in the offense.
Just misses the free throw there. 1 of 3 from the line. But she drains the second, and full commitment in that shooting stroke.
Yeah, she's been working on those free throws. Coach has been getting on to her about those to get the percentage up.
These are big moments. Sophie Beard moves the ball quickly all the way across. Harrison, can she make something happen? Great pass inside, but the shuffling defense and the hustle from the Wildcats. They lead by 6, 2 possession game, biggest lead of the game. Have Oaklands Wolves got anything left? They fought tooth and nail, and what a catch. Good defense again by Oaklands Wolves, but Simone Costa almost getting the pass out. And you had your time here. What did you really enjoy? What's your good memories from here?
My good memories, probably my first year, being able to check into a game at WBBL level, playing against players like Kat Carr and Tiani Clark. You know, that's something not many juniors get the chance to do in this league. We were playing big minutes, you know, 15 minutes a game as a junior, and I've really felt like I developed as a player here during my time. So now taking on more of a leadership role at Nottingham, it's really helped me coming from here, you know.
It's special place here where they're really educating the players through the academy and obviously going on to Hertfordshire University as well. And that could be a travel, I think. She sort of picked the dribble up and stepped through. And Tor says you've got one more year at Nottingham, or are you going to do another year at Nottingham, or?
I graduate this year, so in a couple months I graduate, and I got to figure out what I'm doing next year. Most likely a postgraduate degree, but got to find the best place for me.
At Hertfordshire Uni, maybe?
I'm not sure yet. I've got to see where I can play, what course is the best for me to study.
Sophie Beard catches it from the other side from Greta Utprus. It's real crunch time. Sophie attacks, dribble. She's still got the ball. What a pass inside. Such composure from Sophie Beard. Fantastic. And she played, when she played against Durham, which is when the youngsters played so many minutes, 2 of 3 from 3, 6 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, a few turnovers, but young players are going to turn it over.
Yeah, definitely. They're bound to. The elder players on the team are going to try and make them turn it over and really try to pressure them. But that was really good from her. That was a great pass in to get the foul. You know, they needed that to get some points on the board. Yeah,
well, hopefully Lauren, who we've spoken a lot about her efforts at the free throw line and to really improve her free throw shooting form. She's going to be at the line in a moment. Well, Tia, thank you very much for coming by. I'll let you go back and rejoin your team for the finish. And
thank you so much for having me.
Well, you're very welcome. Good luck. Maybe we'll see you back down south at some point. Who knows?
We'll see. We'll see.
But enjoy the rest of the season. Good luck in the playoffs. There's Tia Freeman, who's resting today to get ready for the playoffs. And 13 games, 8.3 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 3.4 assists, shooting over 30% from 3. So Nottingham Wildcats really another player down. Obviously Melita's gone down as well for Oaklands. That's such a shame for them because potentially she could have got into a flow, got into a rhythm and got ready to play at the weekend.
Yeah, and I think she would have been part of that 8-man rotation that they would have run with Marissa Quick coming back in as well. You want to keep it down to 8 or 9 in the playoffs, and I think she definitely would have been a part of that and gives them a ball handler and creator that they don't have otherwise. They have Amari Carter to create off the dribble. Greta Utprus is a more stand and deliver. She shoots the ball from where she is. We see the same from Lizzie Harrison. She can put it on the floor, but isn't that quite as creative, more driving for herself kind of style, whereas Melita can create for others, and it's something they miss, another shot maker at times.
But they're just going to keep going with who they've got, and with Sophie Beard still on the floor and making that great pass to Lauren Milligan. And it just shows with playing the minutes, playing the Durham game, being involved, even if not playing big minutes against Caledonia Pride, I think it was certainly at the weekend, and just being around this group of players, it's got to improve her confidence. Yeah,
always a benefit, and starting to understand the play calls, how different players like the ball, even if you're running the same plays throughout your club from 18s to the academy to seniors, well, they run it differently. The pace at which the game's played, all of these little differences, you just got to get accustomed to in order to play at this level.
Absolutely, and Laura Milligan makes a free throw. Now it's crunch time. Oaklands Wolves win, they get 7th. They can't quite get the win, they will finish 8th and will play the league winners, Seven Oaks Suns. Good attack, and look at the slight stumble there from Praise Igarevba, and now Greta Utprus. What's she got left? Well, she's going to give it to Sophie Beard, who's just off. That was a beautiful shot in rhythm.
Yeah, I really like her shooting form. It looks really smooth, good arc on it, good rotation on the ball as well.
Lauren Milligan again. I really like them. Just can't get it to go. But she's always got her hands up or halfway up, Lauren Milligan. So she's playing a lot taller than her actual size.
Definitely. She's really battling, keeping her wingspan. And I think it's really tough for the referees to referee somebody like Praise, who's so physical and size-wise. You see it in men sometimes when you get these big 7-footers in some of the other leagues. Lee Hodges at Essex Rebels, which remind me of, well, there are different levels of contact, and how do you referee? Well, is it a push? Is it not? How do I referee somebody of that size? Because their movement's naturally going to generate more force, and the same kind of contact to them, well, it should be 2 shots, and it's a really tough one to measure when you've got this kind of mismatch of size.
Exactly, getting used to, I guess, you know, as you're a junior, and if you are a lot bigger than everybody else, it is trying to find out where you play. And I just saw Praise being spoken to now. Is that Janice Joyner with
Jasmine Joyner? Jasmine Joyner.
Of course, you know, no multiple All-Star 5 selections, 10 games, 19.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, and just calmly was just speaking to praise there just for 10 seconds or so, just to reminding it. I guess, well, what do you think sort of thing she might be saying to her?
Yeah, we heard a speaker earlier about telling praise not to put the ball on the floor because that's when the defence is going to kind of come in and start to suffocate you, and just giving her that reassurance. Jasmine out of Tennessee, Chattanooga, and I think she's the all-time blocks leader there or somewhere near about. She's one of the, I'm sure, one of the greats in the programme for the women's side, and played in Finland before she came here, and then this is her second year in the WBBL. So really experienced head, has been around the league, understands it, and is just helping praise develop. She's only just come into the WBBL. This is her second year she's only 17 years old, so it's a tough transition.
And great play again by Lundqvist, just catches it close in, and they get the score. And 7 points. Is this the big push for Nottingham Wildcats, or is there a hero waiting for Oaklands Wolves? Could it be Sophie Beard? But they are playing her with total respect, coming all the way out on this pressure zone as Greta Uppers throws it up. Laura Milligan gets a hand to it, but good box out by Duwoma. And the shot up mid-range is short. Beth Sarsens with another rebound. She's been really impressive of late with her rebounding. Uppers, lots of noise on this defence. Many young players watching and listening. Got to talk on D all the time. Inside to Milligan, she spins and just can't get that move to go. Yeah,
it looks like Nottingham switched to a man defence here, and interesting to see who they match up with, who does praise match up with foot speed wise, who's Moa going for, and whose hands this will play into.
Lola to Casanova. Inside, there's the pressure, but she steps around and just short, and another rebound by praise. They didn't box her out. Left hand finish, no good. But the fact she tries to finish with both hands, that's good for her.
Yeah, and she's only going to be ever improving, and to have the confidence to go up with that offhand, and it's something that's going to stand her in good stead if she does go to the States. I can imagine her going to a fairly strong big D1 school. The offers will come in, and the pro game, you know, I can see her being a really good pro. She's got a European passport, obviously a big deal in the professional leagues out there, so let's see what comes of her.
Sarsens, there's still plenty of time for Oaklands Wolves to do this, but they've got to do something special, and Greta's going to need to make some threes, and that's short, and two players boxing Lauren Milligan out, making sure she doesn't get that offensive rebound.
And I feel like Greta's been forced into putting these threes up in this second half. The Oakland Wolves have looked to her and said, Baylor's out. You know, in the first half, she got it naturally in motion, and she was open.
Great pass like Casanova, and it's so smart for a young player to be able to see that pass, but I think 3 seconds.
Yeah, Mo established good position, in there a little too long, and a good read from DJ Casanova, but just getting the timing and just seeing her, praising Mo needs to be moving out of the key, and there's a lot going on and moving parts in that scenario.
Okay, 2 minutes remaining. Last throw of the dice for the Oaklands Wolves in the last regular season game of the WBBL. And not lose, good play, but ball will remain with Oaklands Wolves.
That's a real veteran move, that one. With the wraparound, you let the player go past you and then tap it from behind, and something you see from these older players and who have been around a while.
Strickland gets the ball, but from a long way out, she hasn't been able to get a shot off yet. They're playing her and Sophie Beard with ultimate respect. And Dorka under pressure, shoots, is off left, back outside, Harrison. Strickland, pass fakes. Dorka Boris, underhand layup, no good, and Nottingham Wildcats have really played tough D in the last 5 minutes or so to stop the Oaklands Wolves.
Super impressive from the Nottingham bigs to keep up with those guards, foot speed. You could see them trying to push the mismatch, but just tough effort and all round.
Look at Grace Strickland fighting with Chloe Gaynor, and Sophie Beard was on her before that. And Casanova attacks the closeout, left hand finish, no problem.
Yeah, great stuff, and I think Chloe Gaynor took all the attention there. They were worried about having to help Grace out with the mismatch sidewise, but drew the attention towards that, two players, and allows DJ Casanova for a great take for two.
And that sideline, side-to-side pass picked off again, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, jump shot is good, and that is textbook 3-on-2.
Yeah, I think we might be approaching DJ Casanova's high score here, and She's been the benefit of not as many juniors. Really exciting to see.
It's wonderful play by her. It's 4 points. I think she's up to 6 at least. Life stats just catching up. But yeah, that's wonderful play. And here goes Strickland for the shot off the glass. Back-to-back game. She did it on Sunday. A huge shot right there. Could that be the start of something big? But time is running down, and I think unless Oaklands Wolves are going to try and get a steal here, Nottingham Wildcats will run this out.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they're playing through with the youngsters on. I know they want to get as many shots up as possible.
A nice layup. There is still time. Sophie Beard is not going to try and get the shot up. And time expires. And a great fight and fantastic effort by Oaklands Wolves. But the higher seeded team, they're going to finish fourth. Nottingham Wildcats get the win here. Short-handed. Just 7 players actually playing in this game, but they're really impressive in the end as they won the fourth quarter and stopped the Oakland Wolves on the defensive end. 12-4, they won the fourth quarter.
Yeah, really exciting, and that must give Nottingham Wildcats such confidence going into these playoffs. You've only had 7, you've been missing a few key contributors. Tia's obviously hopefully going to be back for the weekend. Shania Rose, who has started at times this season, we're hopeful to see her back as well, and some other pieces off the bench that can be really good in situational environments. So take confidence, and this is a good Oakland Wolves team. They are missing pieces with Marissa Quick, but nevertheless they've still got Amari Carter, still got Greta Rupras, they've still got a lot of the parts here, and you thought it was a fairly even matchup coming in, maybe even Oakland's slight favourites with the numbers you were looking at, but yeah, great confidence from the Nottingham Wildcats to take that one.
26 points for Oakland's in the first quarter, and then 7, 11 and 4 for the next 3 combined, and that's got to be a worry for Lee Ryan. They've got to find a way against Sevenoaks Suns to get some good shots and be competitive at the weekend.
Yeah, definitely, and I think the Sevenoaks Suns are going to key in on that and say, okay, can we suffocate this Oaklands team with our defence? We saw it here when Sevenoaks visited, that suffocating defence really took over for those first 3 quarters, and it looks like defensively they've held Nottingham to 56 points here. They look pretty good, and getting Marissa Quick back protecting the ring will only help, and hopefully she'll help on the offensive end as well. But yeah, it's suffocating and just slowing them down. They need to find ways to figure out how to generate better quality shots and create off the dribble. We need to see more from Amari Carter, driving in, creating, dishing from others, and not just leaving her to do it all as well. She needs that help.
Yeah, a few times she caught the ball right at the end of the shot clock. 13 steals for the Wolves, 10 for the Wildcats, and leading the scores for Oakland's Wolves, Greta Rupras, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and Laura Milligan, 9 points, Amari Carter, 6. We really hope Amari can shake free. We don't want it to be the last game, of course, Saturday. We're hoping for an upset, really hoping she can shake free, really lift her levels up, and go into the playoffs with a massive performance.
Definitely, and how she's going to attack and how are the others going to operate around her. It looks like every time she puts the ball on the floor, other teams know that no one else is keen to take it off that dribble. Okay, they've got shooters around her, but they haven't got someone else who's creating, so they know as soon as she's starting dribbling, she's going to make something for her teammates, and it's kind of limits the offense that way. Maybe we see Marissa Quick come back. I imagine she'll be playing on Saturday, just rested today, and we can see that pick and roll, and that's when the basketball's really exciting to see from Oakland's. And
Lee Ryan mentioned that in his interview, seeing both of those players on the floor and healthy. As we go into the highlights of the game, and what an exciting game it was, which Nottingham Wildcats have won 56-48 and leading them with a double-double. Lundqvist, 14 points, 12 rebounds, and Simone Costa, 14 points, 3 assists, carrying on her good work from the weekend, where she really had a fantastic performance against Newcastle Eagles. So that's the regular season done. What's your takeaways from the games we've been covering, Tor? Really exciting basketball here at Oaklands, and they look like they're trying to play this up-tempo. And I know they're trying it. We try and do it across the club as a whole. We try and play this up-tempo style, and it makes a really fun watch. And they've got pieces. It'll be interesting to see where they develop. Is Louise Rouse, I'm not sure if she's going to the States, or if she's looking to maybe stay at Hearts Uni or something like this. Which pieces are going to return? I think Marissa Quick and Greta Rupras are on 2 years, so they're part-time masters, so we'll definitely see them back. Will we see Amari Carter? Lots of pieces, and how's this playoff going to go? Is everything going to come together at the right time and create an upset? I think that's what's needed. Everyone's got to be on point and playing at 100%. And for me, the takeaway's been great, meeting you, Tor, and working alongside you and hearing your views. But watching the standard of the women's game, we spoke about Holly Winterburn earlier and Januska. Again, that's got to work on that pronunciation. But players like that are so young away from Oaklands, as well as the good players here and the good young players we've just seen at Nottingham. They're playing with no fear. They're going to go into the international arena as well. So the future is looking bright. And of course, the GB women have done so well recently. They just missed out on Eurobasket this time. So now we start another lot of competitions for the national senior team. But obviously the juniors are looking good. But for the way Oakland's Wolves are doing, I've really enjoyed the games. There's obviously been some losses, a loss tonight, but you've got to take the positives. And Lee Ryan's has been a great help to us, and it's been an absolute pleasure bringing you the games. But tonight, the Wildcats have tamed the Wolves. It's the end of the regular season for both these teams. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. Good night.